I'm the children's advocate. I'm here to talk about children, parenting tips, positive parenting, intentional parenting. So hang on with me, stay on with me, and let's get into this video. Come on in, everybody. This is Chichi Dagogowari, so aka the storybook lady, as I like to call myself, and we are here today. So I'm the children's advocate. I'm here to talk about children, parenting tips, positive parenting, intentional parenting. So hang on with me, stay on with me, and let's get into this video. Come on in, everybody. We are going to be talking about crisis management and de-escalation in our teenagers. Teenagers now. In fact, that name, teenage, already has its own issues. And then as a teenage parent, you need to be very, very tactical, especially when dealing with your children. So we're going to be talking about crisis management. What do we mean by crisis management? What does it mean when a teenager is in crisis? Do you know that sometimes your children can actually set expectations for themselves, and when they don't meet up with those expectations, it becomes an issue for them. They begin to see themselves as not being able to meet up. They begin to see themselves as failures, and once that mentality sets in, they now start having issues. A lot of them start having suicidal thoughts. Some of them start having manipulative behavior. Some of them start having irresponsible behavior. They talk to their parents anyhow. They become rude. They become very unsettled. Sometimes they don't even eat. It also affects their appetite. It affects their sense of humor. It affects their sense of reasoning. There are different kind of things that could cause crisis in children. A lot of times it could be grief. It could be maybe loss of a family member. It could be anxiety. So maybe they have an exam that they're preparing for, and they've been reading and it feels like they're not getting what they're reading. It becomes an issue for them. Maybe there are certain complaints that you as the parents have been complaining about them, and it's not seeming like they're changing. It also becomes an issue for them. They also express crisis with rage. They can just get angry. Everything gets them angry. Everything gets them irritated. Now, once your child is experiencing all these kind of things, then your child is said to be in crisis. And as a parent, I know this can be a very, very tasking time for you, because you want to, as much as possible, help your child fix that problem. And then you also want to be sure on the right way to go about that problem. So that's why I'm here today, to teach us, because I'm also a parent. So we learn every day. We're all here to learn. That's why I'm here to teach us on the tips and tricks on how to manage their crisis. So these are the ways we can manage crisis. As a parent, the most important tool you need to manage crisis in your teenager is to build a beautiful rapport with your child. And you cannot build a rapport with your child at teenage. What were you doing when the child was in their younger ages? So you need to start from the early stages of your child to begin to build that perfect relationship between your child. If you're able to build a perfect rapport with your child, trust me, your child will be able to open up to you, to tell you things that he or she most likely will not tell other people. Like I always advise parents who come to me for counseling, I'll tell them, make your child your friend and be your child's friend. It's one thing to make your child your friend, it's another thing to be a friend to your child. Let your child see you like a confidant. Let your child see you like that parent that I can tell things no matter how difficult it is. If you're able to get to that position with your child, then thumbs up for you, because you've actually hit the nail on the head, even though you haven't driven it deep down, but you have gotten the right point. So what are the major tips that you can use to build rapport with your child? Listen, parents, listen to your child. Listen without interrupting, listen without interfering. Do you know that your child can be talking to you like, oh mommy, we need to talk, I have something that's been bothering me, I have something that's been eating me up all this while, and that's when you be like, wait first, hold on, then you're not talking to some other person. That alone has deflated. Even you don't know how long that child took to build up the confidence enough to come to you to talk, and once you've already diverted the attention, that child will be like, oh god, now wow, which kind of wahala is this one again? All right, so as a parent, learn to listen. Let it be that every word your child is saying is going right into your ears, and you have to keep asking questions to make that child know that you're listening. How do you do that? When your child is telling you, mommy, there's something I want us to talk about, it's really eating me up, I've been holding it down. Like, why have you been holding it down? Why didn't you come to me all this while? No, next time, no matter what happens to you, as soon as you have issues, come to me. Do you know what that will do to your teenager? That will skyrocket his or her confidence level. Like, oh wow, so I really could have actually spoken to my mom all this while, and I was so afraid to do that. Do you understand what I mean now, parents? So don't just okay, yes, I'm listening to you. Then the child is talking and you're like At the point, the child will just feel you're just saying that so that he can quickly say what he has to say and just shut the hell up. But if you're interactive with your child, if you're listening without interfering, if you're listening and you're making that child know that yes, I hear you, that child will be able to speak out to you. Secondly, you have to learn to collaborate with your child, communicate and collaborate with your child. How do you do that? Your body language. When your child is talking to you, is that when you want to start feeling sleepy? Is that when your phone will ring and you really, oh baby, let's hold on, just hold on with this your conversation, I need to pick this call. Sometimes that thing that is affecting your child should take precedence over every other thing, unless it is an emergency. Because trust me, that thing that child is coming out to tell you is already an emergency. For that child to be able to come up to you to tell you that, mom or dad, I have this thing that is bothering me, it's already an emergency in the head of that child or in the life of that child. So that child needs to, he needs you to be that pin that will burst that bubble, that will burst that balloon that is already building up in his or her life. So at that point in time, he needs you to communicate. You should ask your child, so how do we go about this? That's the most important question you should ask your teenager. So how do we go about it? How can I help you solve it? How can we do this together? You know, we're in this together. And sometimes, how do you communicate with your child? You need to take yourself back to your teenage. You need to ask yourself as a mom, when I was a teenager, if I had this issue, how would I have resolved it? With the experiences you have now as a parent, try to switch back to teenage and be like, okay, if I was your age, I would do this and I would do that. Maybe the child is having an emotional issue or boyfriend issues. You could say, you know what, when I was your age, I would maybe tell the person this or say that, or why don't you do this, why don't you do that? Try to give that child positive suggestions to make that child know that, okay, my mom or my dad is listening. And then finally, the last way to show rapport or to build a beautiful rapport with your teenager is to show interest. Every child has their own level of individuality. So understand what your child loves the most and try as much as possible to do those kind of things with him. Do you know that there are certain activities you can do with your child that will make your child open up? Yes, you can actually shop together, you can cook together, you can go out together, you can take a walk together, you can take a drive together. If you do that, it tends to bring your child closer to you and build a higher level of confidence in your child. And once you do that, maybe you and your child are together in a car. So you were trying to tell me something earlier. How do you think we can go about this thing? How do you think we can solve that problem? A lot of times, give your children the task of thinking too. Even if they come to you with a problem, let them also know that they can also provide solutions to that problem. So a lot of times juggle their brain. Okay, how do you think I can help you solve the problem? And then all you have to do is give guidance. So this is all we have today on building rapport with your children. Now in my next video, we're going to be talking about how to deal with the de-escalation in the crisis management. So I need everybody to stay tuned, look out for the next video where we're going to conclude this topic. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the notification bell up there. It doesn't cost anything. I'll see you next time. This is Chichi Dagogowari, so aka the Storybook Lady, and I'm signing out.